Are you still scrolling, searching, watching guy after guy sell a secret formula, a side hustle cheat code, or a 4-hour workweek miracle? And yet, month after month, you're still not any closer to the life that you actually want. And you feel that. You feel that disappointment, you feel that frustration, you feel that internal pressure of knowing you're capable of more, but you're not hitting it. Why is that? Because you're chasing shortcuts instead of building a strong foundation. Because you're looking for the fastest path instead of the strongest one. Because there's a gap between the man you are right now and the man you know you need to become. And the truth is, that gap hurts. I know it does. I lived it for many years. I remember waking up feeling behind before the day even started. I didn't fix my life with hacks or lucky breaks. I fixed it with 10 brutal reality checks. 10 truths that forced me to grow up mentally, financially, and personally. Those truths rebuild my income, my mindset, and my confidence, and ultimately my entire future. So if you're tired of being stuck, tired of overthinking, tired of letting other people around you lower your potential, this is the 10 minutes that's going to wake you up. Let me ask you something and answer it honestly. Are you chasing 5 things at once? Are you still waiting for the potential perfect plan that never comes? Are you still letting the wrong people influence your future? If yes, let's fix that right now. Rule number 1, escape survival mode. The first step is non-negotiable. You must get out of the survival mode. You cannot build a better future while you're constantly fighting your present one. When every month is a struggle, when rent is stressing you out, when your groceries feel heavy, when a $300 expense throws your whole life off, your brain literally cannot think long term. You're not broken, you're just overwhelmed. And when you're drowning mentally over $500, you cannot plan a $5 million business. Survival mode shuts everything down, your creativity disappears, your confidence collapses, opportunities look like walls instead of doors. I lived in that mental prison for years. It destroys your energy, your clarity, and your self-belief. But the second, and I mean the second I created even a little breathing room, my entire world shifted. Ideas started flowing in again. Opportunities that were invisible suddenly became obvious. My brain could finally think about something other than survival. And listen, you don't need to be debt-free tomorrow. You just need to live below your means. Stop trying to impress people. Stop trying to live a lifestyle that doesn't belong to you yet. Cut costs. No more designer clothes. No more luxury car payments. No more spending money the moment you get a raise. I see people make this mistake all the time. They earn more and they instantly spend more. They upgrade their life before they stabilize it. It's simple math. Grab an Excel sheet, write down your monthly take-home income, then list every single expense underneath it. And ask yourself one honest question. Am I giving myself enough breathing room to think, grow, and build? Because that little space, that little margin, that is where ideas are born. But the moment you finally create space, another trap shows up, which takes us to rule number 2, actions over analysis. You're not failing because you're stupid. You're failing because you're waiting for the perfect idea, waiting for the perfect plan, waiting for confidence to magically appear. It won't. Most people call it research, but let's be honest, it's fear dressed up as productivity. It's procrastination in a suit. My first staffing business wasn't something I planned for years. It wasn't polished, it wasn't perfect, it wasn't even fully thought out. It was just a start. The moment the opportunity came to start my own business, I took it. Even though I was clueless and scared out of my mind, because wealth doesn't begin with everything being figured out. Wealth begins the moment you start moving. Start the service, sell something simple, launch the imperfect idea. That's the messy first step. Take the messy first step. Your first idea will not be perfect, and that's fine. But it'll be worth 100 more times than the perfect idea that you never took actions on. Stop making excuses, start making revenue. And then you finally start moving. The people around you determine how far you go. Rule number 3. Your network is your net worth. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Not because some motivational poster said it, but because your environment is stronger than your willpower. If everyone around you is broke, complaining, settling, or avoiding responsibility, that becomes your ceiling. That becomes your future. For years, my circle was all about drinking and celebrating every weekend. Looking back, I asked myself, what were we even celebrating? Week after week, we were still broke. Nothing changed. I remember telling some of my friends about my business ideas and they would laugh. They doubted me, they questioned my goals, they created uncertainty at the exact moment I needed direction and support. Even my own dad would say, "Are you sure you know what you're doing? You know they can sue you and you can lose everything." Imagine if I would have listened. person, you wouldn't be listening to me right now. My life changed the moment my environment changed. When I surrounded myself with owners, investors, and operators, everything elevated. My goals got bigger, my standards got higher, my excuses got weaker. The right network doesn't just open doors, it forces you to grow. It forces you to consider what normal is. I got into real estate because I became friends with my loan officer when I purchased my first home. He was young, driven, and already owned 10 properties himself. I asked questions, I listened, I learned, and he helped me get my first deal, all because I asked. Stop looking for handouts, start offering value. Go to events, DM people that you respect. Ask how you can help and not what they can give you. Remember this, even if you enter the right room, none of it matters if you bring nothing to the table. Rule number 4, master one skill. Some of you guys have a podcast logo, a clothing brand idea, a crypto account, a half-built online business, and every single one of them is barely alive. This is why you feel stuck. This is why nothing takes off for you. This is why your progress always feels thin. You're spreading your energy across too many things, and because of that, everything stays weak. Stop being a jack of all trades and a master of none, because that is the fastest path to staying broke. Real wealth comes from mastering one skill deeply. For me, that skill was sales and clients relations. That was my lane. That was the one thing I focused on until I became undeniable at it. And once I mastered that skill, everything else became stepping stones. I learned how to start a business. I had to learn payroll, HR, safety, workers' comp management, operations, and eventually leadership and delegation, and building operators who could run my company without me. I couldn't grow by doing everything myself, so I replaced myself in each role, one by one, piece by piece. And that one skill I mastered in the beginning, that single lane became the entire foundation for a 7-figure empire. Not 5 side projects, not chasing trends, not diversifying $0. One skill mastered. The world pays specialists, not dabblers. Become undeniable at one thing, then scale it into a business. And once you master that one skill, you need one more thing, the nerve that withstands what comes next. Rule number 5, emotional control. People think wealth is built on spreadsheets, but it's built on nerve. It's built on an emotional stability. It's built on how you handle pressure. Business is stressful. Life is unpredictable. Problems come daily. Unexpected issues show up at the worst times. Most people panic. Most people react emotionally. But most people crumble the second things get hard. The successful person that stays calm enough to think clearly. When chaos hits, emotional control becomes your competitive advantage. It becomes the reason people trust you. It becomes the reason people follow you. It becomes the reason opportunities gravitate towards you. Be the calmest person in the room, the person everyone hands responsibility to. And responsibility is where the money is. Which brings us to the truth most people avoid. Rule number 6, responsibility is the real currency. Stop chasing the feeling of money, the cars, the watches, the status. Chase the things that money actually rewards. Responsibility. Because every time I took on more responsibility, my income grew. Small problems pay small money, but big, messy, high-stake problems, those pay big money. A $50,000 job carries less responsibility, and a $500,000 role carries less responsibility than running a company. Stop looking at your paycheck. Start looking at the weight you're willing to carry. The more responsibility that you're willing to handle, the more the world will pay you. But you can't take everything on at once. You need a foundation, one real pillar. Rule number 7, one strong pillar before multiple streams. Everyone online talks about multiple streams of income, but that's exactly why most people never build even one. Multiple streams of income are for people who are already stable, not people who are still trying to escape the survival mode. You need one strong income vehicle first, one engine, one machine, one pillar. For me, my staffing business was that pillar. It became solid, it became stable, it became predictable, and eventually it no longer required me minute by minute. And that's the reason why I'm able to make this content, because the company runs with operators that I built, not with my consistent involvement. Once I freed up my time, then I expanded into new ventures like software development, real estate, writing a book. Are these things hard? Of course, but with the right structure, the right delegation, and the right team, they become possible because I don't carry all the weight alone. One pillar first, then diversify. And once that pillar exists, you unlock the next level, structure. Rule number 8, money flows to structure. Hustle is not enough. Motivation is not enough. Talent is not enough. Structure is a multiplier. Your systems, your routines, your calendar, your habits, your SOPs, that's what allows your success to sustain and grow. You can't scale you, but you can scale a system. A motivated person can get one big win. A structured person gets big wins consistently. If your structure is random, your income will be random. If your process is structured, your income becomes predictable. Systems make success possible, but discipline makes success inevitable. Rule number 9, discipline. This is the hardest truth of them all. Discipline beats motivation every single time. Motivation is a mood. It comes and goes. Discipline is a decision. You show up anyways. Everything I've built, every business, every investment, every opportunity, it was built on boring, relentless discipline. Showing up early, showing up tired, showing up when nobody was watching, showing up when it wasn't excited or glamorous. The disciplined man wins because he keeps moving when everyone else gets distracted. Discipline builds the engine, momentum drives the car. And that leads us to the rule that separates dreamers from earners. Rule number 10, momentum over perfection. Money doesn't follow perfection, it follows momentum. Perfection is just fear dressed up, a polished form of procrastination that keeps talented people stuck because they believe everything has to be flawless before they begin. But you don't need a perfect website, the perfect logo, or the perfect plan. What you really need is movement. When I started, I didn't have all the answers. I just moved. I moved fast, I made mistakes, I learned quickly, and I adjusted along the way. That momentum created opportunities I never could have planned for. And it built the confidence that only came from action, not thinking. You're not missing more information, you're missing action. So launch ugly, start messy, move now. Wealth goes to the people who are bold enough to begin before they're even ready. You got the roadmap, you got the blueprint, you got the exact principles that took me from stuck to unstoppable. But information doesn't change your life, decisions do. So shut this video down, take a breath, and choose to start. Not next month, not next week, not when life gets easier. Start now, because nobody is showing up to save you. Nobody's going to hand you the life that you want. Nobody's going to build it for you. This part is yours, your responsibility, your opportunity, and if you want it, really want it, this is where it begins, your turn.